good morning, good afternoon, whatever you consider it. I just wanted to drop in real quick before I started this workout, which I'm running a little bit late, and I've waited till it's too hot a little bit, but I took a few weeks off from my running. Man, battling injuries when you get a little bit older, just can't recover as fast, and that's okay. That's part of it. You know, some people think you get older, that means do less. I say you do more. You just do it a different way, and it's reduced me for almost 3 weeks now. I'm not even sure what I did, but I've really had hell out of my knee and some other things going on, and but nevertheless, I'm going to see where I'm at today and get started for this. Gets any damn hotter out here. If you wait till it's not hot in Texas to get outside, you probably won't do anything. And wanted to show my support, like I do, for people, like-minded people, and a brother of mine who's doing great things with his track club and his boys, and great help to other people, and show support from people who often come from the same environment trying to do great things, because that's what you're supposed to do, is show support. So Rick, keep doing what you're doing, man. Love it. You are great at what you do, and stay the course and keep those boys focused. So in case y'all didn't see that, Ricky Robinson, y'all hit him up if you need to work on some speed and development skills for your kids in track or any other sports. And I have a real hard time supporting privileged people who has had everything done for them. People like us are supposed to stick together. And I've tried to be a man of my word, and I feel like I do the best I can to keep my word, because that's what a man's supposed to do. Is if you have nothing else, your word means a lot. You know when you're trying and when you're not. But anyway, let me get back to the subject real quick, which is I just had to take a few minutes, man, of something I've seen. I see it in so many walks of life, so many families. It's not just families that I'm around all the time, or my family, or in-laws, or anything like that. It's really two different things, but I'm gonna keep it as one. Is how do you people let your grown children that you raised use your grandchildren as a damn weapon? And how do you, especially if you help them out and you pay for things for them and they live in your house, and even if they don't live in your house, I just had to take a few minutes to give you my perspective and experience and what I think about this shit. How could you ever think that by letting them use your grandchildren against you, that if you give them what they want, that they're not going to do it again another time? Listen, I've talked about this in past videos. A narcissist person, well, whatever category they fall in, maybe they fall in all of them. Narcissist, sociopath, controlling, manipulating, it's all tied together. If you don't do something for them, or you tell them no, that they're not going to let you see your grandkid, this sounds harsh, but here's my philosophy on this, and this is experience. So if you do it for them, what is going to happen the next time you tell them no? Do you think that it's not going to happen again? And another thing, I can't really go back to that's how you raised them, because I've said this many times. I got a couple of kids, and they're entirely different. They were raised the same. So I'm going to talk like I normally do, which is blunt, which is keeping it real, which is action, and how to stop this shit. And it's not going to be comfortable, and they're going to get pissed off, they're going to threaten you, and they're probably going to follow through with some of it for a little while, and then that's as far as it's going to go. One, how do we raise kids that yet let us use our grandkids against them, and why do we allow it? They're going to do it from now on. I just see it all the time. If I don't, we know people, if I don't pay a bill for them, or I don't help them out, or I tell them no, or I don't do this, or I don't do that, or they're living in my house, they're not helping me, and I'm afraid to kick them out, or I'm afraid to do that because of my grandbabies. Listen, if you have somebody that's that codependent, that needy, and you're paying all the bills, let's cover two subjects. Not two different subjects. One, if they live in your house and they are of adult age, and we could hit a lot of different categories right here, and they're not, especially if they have children and they're not paying bills and contributing, and you're letting them have the fucking say so, that blows me away. I mean, I don't even know how you go ask them what they want and you don't tell them. See, people think everything's being mean. People want to be peacemakers. You want to be nurturers. You want to be nice people, and that's okay. We should be as nice as many people in this life as we can and take shit from none. But just because you do these things doesn't mean that they're going to do the same thing in return. You have a grown person living in your house with children, and you're giving them all options on what they want to do, if they want to work, or if they want to, if you don't want to keep your grandkids. How do you think that that's ever going to change? And let me ask you this: what are they going to do when you're gone? God forbid something happen. And eventually, one day it is. We're all not going to be here. What are they going to do then? Go to the next person, the next family member? Maybe they will. If they're underage or a teenage parent, unfortunately, some of us have been there. You need to be giving them the tools to take care of themselves. It is not what you do for them; it's what you teach them to do for themselves. This is me. This is the way I see it. I don't know how you're not giving them deadlines, giving them restrictions, giving them leases. Yes, they're never going to leave. They're never going to do anything. And let's talk about if they don't live with you. And you say, hey, I don't want to watch my granddaughter or grandson today, or I don't want to watch their grandkids. You stop your life for them, or you don't pay a bill for them, or you tell them no, or you tell them to make their own car payment, or you tell them to, you can't borrow any money. You're their emergency fund. They don't stay around here because you're getting older and they're going to help you. They're staying around here because you help them. And I have so much to say on this. This video could probably go on for a fucking hour. Yes. I mean, y'all can say whatever you want to, but I see this over and over. Is I'm gonna use children are the biggest weapon, bait, and bargaining chip in this world. I don't know what's going on in the rest of the world, but I know what goes on in the United States, and I know what goes on in mostly all the worlds that we know, and that's it. If somebody don't get their way, and I'm not taking women's side or men's side, I'm saying what really goes on, which is your kid's not a fucking bargaining chip. It does not matter what the ex, look, unless the ex hurt that child or did something wrong to them that they wouldn't need to be around them the rest of their life anyway, molested them, God forbid, abused them, it's different. It does not, women, whatever the guy's doing, if he's taking care of his kids and he's being a good dad, then let him be a good dad. Men, look, if the woman's not with you, and she's not with you. And I think guys get a bad rap because at the same time, women are still more in control of things. That's just the way it goes. If they can say that it's not that way, because I take up for women a lot. I always have, always will, because there's still the percentage of a landslide that more men don't do their job than women do. It's just a fact. But on the other hand, I know that people will debate this all day, and that's good. It's good to talk about it, which is, there's a lot of men out there that are getting controlled by the women and getting manipulated just because so they can be vindictive and spiteful. And I'm going to tell you something, no matter what you're going through, if you're in a toxic relationship and you're with that person, or you're going back and forth with that person, split up, get back together, move in, move out, you love your children, and you probably are a decent parent. But speaking from experience and what I see and what I've studied, if you're just so distracted with keeping up with that person, jealousy, what the other one's doing, fighting, splitting up, I'm gonna tell you this: you're not focused on the kids. You can't be. You're worried about that person. The kids just happen to be there. That's all it is. There's no way you can be the parent. You can be. There's worse things than splitting up. There's worse things not being with the baby's daddy or whatever, and that's staying together and being like that. The kids always pay, and for people out there doing it with the grandkids, I mean, if you don't pay a bill for them or you tell them no. I told somebody this a while back because this was going on in a situation we know about. Whether it's related to me or not, it makes no difference, which is I told them, okay, you're going to give them their way today and you're going to get to see your grandbaby. What's going to happen next time? I said, listen, well, This person told me, well, maybe your methods are a little too harsh, Jason. Okay. I said, well, I'm gonna stay doing what I do, which is I'm not gonna allow it, not once, not at all. And if it means me, if this is what I did. If I was them, this is what I did. Put myself in their position, which is I'm not gonna allow it. I'm gonna be vocal about it. See, this is what people think. If you're a nice person, that you have to be a pushover. That means you care more, you love them. No, let me tell you, if you're out enabling them and you're letting them control you and you're letting them dictate everything you do, you really think that means you love them more? Think about that. You're not giving them no tools to function around other circles of society. That controls that. And if somebody comes along who don't put up with that shit, that's what happens. So for me, I said, no, I never stand for that. No, not even once. What would you do? I said, I would tell them to take my grandkid, whether it be a boy or girl, and get the hell out of my house. Or don't bring them over to see me, because they'll need you before you need them. Because today you give them what they want, and it's going to be a never-ending cycle till that kid is grown. That's if they live in your house or don't live in your house. That's a whole nother thing we'll talk about later. I just want to throw that in there. But if they live in your house and you're a in-house babysitter, in-house pay their bills, in-house getting threats, this is what you need to do. You're afraid because you've already got attachment to your grandchildren like they're your parents. And chances are, if you spend more time with them than the parents do, or the parent, whichever ones, the kids look at you as the parent. I had an in-house grandmother live with me 14 years. I know. Chances are you probably haven't put them on any guidelines. You probably haven't made no deadlines for them, so they're never going to do anything but what they're doing. And then what's going to happen, it's a great possibility and very likely that those kids grow up and never leave, and then they do the same thing. They probably don't even listen to the parent if the grandparent makes all the decision. They're using them against you. They're going to do it over and over again. We have a lady, it's a friend of ours, that said, if I don't pay my grown kids that does not live with her, if I do not pay their insurance, help them with their car payment and cable bill, they will not let me see my granddaughter. Man, are you fucking serious right now? Y'all put up with that shit, really, man? Man, let me tell you something. It's not being mean. It's standing your ground. Nobody else is going to put up with that with them. This is what you do. If they're in your house, okay, here's what's going down. I'm not giving you a choice to get a job. You're getting a job. Unless there is something physically or mentally wrong with you. You're going to get a job. Here's how long you got to get it. At this point, from that point on, let's talk about how long you need to save. And you go back to seeing your grandparents like grandparents should see their grandparents. When they so choose to. You chose to have the children. We love them. We don't love them any less. You chose to have them. We didn't. And your life should, if you start stopping your life for them, unless something tragic has happened, they're incarcerated, and it's very limited, unforeseen circumstances. But if you're just doing it because they won't do it, they're never going to do it. And you give them deadlines, you stick to it. And for the ones that don't live with you, you serious that if you don't pay their bills and give them money and be their emergency fund, they're going to cut you off? You do these things because you think that they're going to do what you want them to do, and you think that they're going to be better to you for that. They're not. And I'm going to tell you something else, and this is going to be in the next video. You're making a problem for somebody else. You are. You know, these people that you do everything for, these children or whoever, whatever that person fits in your life, you do it in hopes that they're going to give you the same respect back. And that's another thing. People get respect real messed up. They think if a person's real vocal and opinionated or very up in your face, that's disrespectful when it happens to be the truth, because you get offended. But someone living in your house, disrespecting you, they don't even have to be mean about it or cuss, not paying bills, pawning the kids off all the time, using the kids as a weapon. What kind of disrespect is that? I mean, we really need to understand what things mean before we use those terms. I think that we, just like anything, we have society over years has said, this is success, this is respect, this is relationship, this is how you father, this is how you mother. This is what a good worker is. This is what a good father is. We got a lot of shit confused because of passed down traditional information. That's what it is. And that's going to be something else, yes. I just see this over and over, man. And the only ones that pay is the kids. Now, I'm going to tell you, man, put your foot down. If it means a while that you're not going to see your grandkids, so be it. They will come back around. They will need you first, because what happens is you think that you're going to monitor and be able to control all of this if you step in. And you will till they up and just decide to go somewhere else and move on. Then what are you going to do about that? What's going to happen if you're gone? What's going to happen to these people if tragedy strikes and they have no clue what to do? What's going to happen is somebody else has to step in and do their job that may not have asked for it. And if you're a parent, you might be a great person. What has happened is you've created a problem for somebody else to deal with. And you think you love them more, but it's not fair for somebody else to have to deal with something you created because you didn't want to get the nuts and you didn't want to fucking get the courage. Put your foot down and stop that shit. That's what it is. We're going to pick back up on this later. I'm going to finish this up before the sun hits. Man, y'all make the best of this day and appreciate everybody around you and keep stuff real and be nice to as many people as you can and don't put up with shit from one. Y'all have a good day.